Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Alazouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we will do the October 2023 review. First, before to start, I will just to introduce you our sponsor, MedBoard. So who is MedBoard?
MedBoard, the regulatory research and intelligence platform, is focused on solving the problem with increasing news and data and new requirements as regulatory intelligence, post-market surveillance, clinical literature review, and many more. We are making trusted medtech information and data more accessible, creating the largest information portal search and the best tools for review, intelligence, and portfolio management. We are already changing people's lives like you by reducing tedious manual and repetitive work or saving much time. Contact us at medboard.com to learn more about us and do a free trial.
Okay, to start with our review, we'll first introduce the new version of the Borderline manual. So this is the manual that is used to help you understand if your product is really a medical device and what is the classification of your product. This is not for every product, but inside this manual there are a lot of examples, and usually those products that are inside the manual are products that are really borderline between medical devices and cosmetics, or medical devices and drugs, or medical devices and biocides, etc. And it tells you yes or no, this is a medical device, and if it is, what is the classification and how you should consider that. So this Borderline manual was existing before under MDD. There is now a new version under MDR, and there is a new revision of it with more products. So I will just list to you the products that are new on it. So the first is the root canal irrigation solution. The second is the temperature sensors embedded in orthopedic devices for compliance tracking. The third one is a system intended to create a sclerosis foam. The fourth one is N-butyl-2 cyanoacrylate based adhesive. And the last one is custom-made cranial implant. So if you have or you are working with some of those products, so don't hesitate, go to the Borderline manual and you will see mainly if those products are considered as medical device or not. And this can help you also within your justification on your quality manual or on your technical documentation to write why your product is mainly a medical device also. So I let you check that on the show notes. Okay, second topic of today is the guidance that the EU Commission has issued on the Annex 16 products. So there is a question and answer document on the Annex 16 products where it tells you mainly any question that you have. It answers to any question that you have. For example, if your Annex 16 contains some drug devices, the timeline also of it, if there is a dual application or functionality, one that is non-medical device and one that is medical device. So it helps you exactly how to consider those products, how to apply for them, what you should do exactly. So don't hesitate if you are a company that is manufacturing Annex 16 products, so products that have no medical purpose normally. There are six groups on the EU MDR. So don't hesitate to go to this question and answers document, which provides you a lot of details of that. A lot of information there are already known, but I suppose there are a few questions that maybe are really specific to some categories of products. So it's really worth it just to have a quick view of it. So again, check on the show notes. Okay, now Italy. So Italy has decided to issue kind of a website or web solution for you that are manufacturing custom-made devices. So there is a website that is mainly used where you can go and you can get your custom-made device registration number or these kind of things. So to get kind of an approval for your products in the country. So yes, custom-made, they are specific because normally it's one product fits one patient, so it's not like you are selling multiple issues of those products. So the idea here is to declare or to notify the authorities that yes, on their country there will be a custom-made device, and this is the type of custom-made device that will be provided. It should be already done also in other countries, but here for Italy there is a specific application that is now created by the authorities. If you go on the show notes, you'll find the link, and there is inside the text in Italian. If you have a browser that can translate immediately, so it will be then translated in English, and you will see a link where you can click, and there will be then the portal where you can go and register your request and your application for it. Again, for custom-made devices, Ireland is planning to have a webinar. The date, I don't know if I have it yet, October 19th, 2023. So in October 19th, there will be this webinar. So the scope of the webinar for custom-made devices will be about classification, about conformity assessment, about vigilance reporting, and about technical documentation requirements. So I'm not sure we are talking about the same. So usually there is the Annex 13 of the EU MDR that explains to you exactly what kind of documents you need, but it's not called technical documentation. Technical documentation is really the term for the medical devices that are mainly sold and that are going through Annex 2 and Annex 3. So not sure if this term technical documentation is the right one, but it is what is written on the website. So if you are interested to understand more about custom-made devices for the Irish market also, then you can go to this webinar on October 19th. Team NB, Team Notified Body, has had some trainings on technical documentation, and they issued a new session now that will happen in November 7th. So November 7th, there will be this new session, this new training on MDR, technical documentation. They have done before IVDR also, but now they come back to MDR, so I suppose there is also more demand on that. So you can go there and you can try to get trained on the technical documentation for medical device regulation. In case Easy Medical Device has also issued, as updated, because we had that since a long time now, our technical file package or templates. Before we had just inside the technical file summary document plus the GSPR plus the declaration of conformity. Now we have updated that, and we called it now the premium pack. So if you are interested to learn more about technical documentation, this premium pack is containing all the technical file summary documentation, plus a lot of templates like clinical evaluation, risk management, classification, labeling, instruction for use, clinical development plan, etc., etc. So a lot of templates. You can go to the website and you will see on the shop what is exactly available. And we also included a procedure on how to create your technical file because we had a lot of people that were saying to us, okay, how should I use all that? So we try to give you also a procedure on the fact that you should start here and do that, etc., etc. So don't hesitate to also go on the show notes to find out first for this Team NB training if you need to get training on that. Second, for the shop, for the template that is on our shop at Easy Medical Device. Notified bodies. So what's the situation actually for notified bodies? So we have now under IVDR the first notified body for Finland. So it is Eurofins Electric and Electronics, Finland OI. So mainly it's the first in Finland. It was just announced. And what is the count now of notified bodies? In Europe, EU MDR, we have 39 notified bodies. For IVDR, we have now 11 notified bodies. So it's really a great number, if I can say. I mean, it's increasing, which is great. I'm still a bit confused about IVDR because mainly we don't hear too much about the IVDR companies regarding the certification, the changes, etc. So the transition period for IVDR is nearly over. In 1 year, a bit more than 1 year. So I think we have again to alert again the IVDR companies that they have to rush, if I can say, to get their certification, to get everything ready. So if there is a need of any support, so don't hesitate to contact me and I will try to explain to you if there is, if we can provide you some support for that. But good news, we have 11 now notified bodies to help you. We hope to get more because as we said, it's not the same as before under the IVDD. There is now more needs of notified bodies under IVDR. So I hope this number will increase again. Okay, now what happened in the UK? So in the UK, we have this Innovation Devices Access Pathway, IDAP, which is in a pilot phase and will start from, you should apply for it from the October 29th. Mainly, the idea here is to give you a lot of support for your product so that you can, if I can say, more quickly go to the market. So the support will be mainly about helping you, for example, for fast tracking your clinical investigation, for your quality management system. Also, can you grant you an exceptional authorization from the MHRA, but much more. There are really a lot of more advantage of being part of this thing. But who can be part of that? So mainly this is products that are for life-threatening and debilitating, so serious debilitating conditions, for products that are innovative and transformative, the products that provide really a wide benefit for the patient and which address a lot of different technologies like improving transitional capabilities in neurodegenerative and dementia, enabling early diagnosis and treatment, including immune therapies such as cancer vaccine, etc., etc. So there are a lot of things. I will not read everything, but if you are in this situation in the UK, you plan to sell your device in the UK, you have to apply for this pathway before October 29th. So really, I encourage you to do that if you are really interested. It looks like the same as the breakthrough procedure in the US, but yeah, maybe there are some differences. But it's great. The UK have this kind of pathway for products that are really interesting and really serious and with the new technologies. I hope we can also get this kind of thing in Europe soon, because for now, that you are life-threatening, you are treating some life-threatening condition or not, you have to go to the same pathway. So it's mainly what is a bit a pity here. Okay, so I hope this will help you. So go to the show notes and you will see the link, and all the details that I just told you will be mentioned there. Swissmedic has issued a report on Swissdamed. Swissdamed is the Eudamed for Switzerland. So mainly they are creating the Eudamed for Switzerland, which is called Swissdamed. And they have issued a report explaining the result of a survey. This result is great because it's showing a lot of mainly what people are thinking or what they want to see, etc. We see a lot of things like if you are a foreign manufacturer, you have maybe to go through a Swiss representative to register on the Swissdamed. This is exactly what is happening actually in the UK. Not in Europe, but in the UK. In Europe, you can register to Eudamed yourself, and then you have to, if you are a foreign manufacturer, you have to mention who is your authorized representative in the region, and then we, as an authorized representative, we are receiving a notification, and then we have to click to say, yes, we are your representative, and we accept the mandate or whatever. So here in Switzerland, I don't know if they will be using more the European method with Eudamed or the UK method with MHRS. So it's something that we are looking at. But the report is really interesting. There are a lot of question and answers and what people are willing to see or thinking to see. Yeah, there is also an agenda for Swissdamed, I think starting by next year. We'll talk about that more when everything will be more clear from the authorities. Okay, conferences now. So last week I was at the Medics Day, and at the same time there was the IMDRF in Berlin. It was really great because there was then a lot of people that we can meet and discuss and have things. So the Medics Day was really great because it's mainly how to digitalize the medtech industry, how to make them more, if I can say, going through those technologies of applications and support to make their life easier, and also to facilitate the move from one way to another, to avoid paper but more to go to digitalization. So mainly it was a great event. I was organizing the panel discussion, so I tried to ask a lot of questions. We have recorded that. I will try to get those images and then maybe repurpose them within a podcast, so we'll see as soon as I get them. But yeah, you will see then what are the concerns, what are the maybe some of the situation. But yeah, I hope maybe some of you will be part of the Medics Day next year. This is mainly a German conference, but they are now switching a bit to English, which is also great. So yeah, don't hesitate to go there next year if you are interested on the digitalization also. Next is the AFRI Summit in Egypt. So in next week in October. I will be there also in Egypt, so we'll have a discussion on MDR for mainly the Middle East and Africa region, to explain to them what is the news, what are the news, what is happening, etc. And objective is also to meet a lot of people in the region and to try to learn also from their side how they are experiencing the MDR, or how we can also improve the regulation in the different countries. So yeah, happy to be part of the Afri Summit. If you are going there also, so let's come to me and say hello, and then we can maybe have a good discussion together. Next one will be Medica. So I have been granted as a press to Medica, so I will be also making videos there, interviews of people, trying to see maybe a few manufacturers and discuss with them. So the objective here will be really again to introduce you to Medica, to show you how this great conference is done, and maybe to meet again some of my customers also, maybe meet also some people that we are working with, which will be great. So don't hesitate also if you are going to Medica to say hello. And the last one of the most important, the Team PRRC event, which will be in Strasbourg in France in November 16th and 17th. So I will be also there. So it's just after Medica. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be at Medica. On Thursday, Friday, I will drive directly from Düsseldorf to Strasbourg, and I will be there. So mainly it will be 2 days where PRCs, it's an event for PRCs. So if you are PRC, please join us. There will be a lot of discussion. We'll have a lot of good experts also that will be there. Basil Acroa, Ronald Boumans, that will be mainly there. So don't hesitate to come, don't hesitate to register now, because yeah, it's also the event where you can come and ask your questions and try to really provide your concerns also. Team PRC is an association, so you can also be a member of this association. So they can help you, they can provide you support, they can also, if there is any issue within your company, they can also be the mediator for that. So don't hesitate to talk with them and talk with the Team PRC, because this can be a great asset for you in the future for your PRC role. Okay, now trainings. So we have 2 trainings on our platform actually that are running, which are the first one, vigilance reporting training, where I'm explaining to you how vigilance reporting in Europe is going. So which documents, so I give you all the list of all the documents, and I tell you exactly how to move from number 1 to number 2 to number 3, which guidances you have also to look at, etc. So I try to give you the full picture of what is vigilance reporting in Europe, the timelines also, etc. So don't hesitate to go to the training. It's a self-paced training, so you just purchase and then you can go through it. It's not too expensive, so I hope it will be helping you a lot. The next one is audit readiness. So I saw a lot of people that were asking me, oh, I've never participated to an audit. How can I discuss with the auditor? What are the things I can say and not say? What things should I be careful of, etc. So I try to explain to you how to prepare prior to the audit, and how to behave during the audit in front of the auditor. The objective here is not to hide anything to auditor, just to say, to really understand what to say, what to talk about, etc. To not give any answer that is just coming out of your head without really confirmation. So to really have some kind of organized structure on how you are behaving in front of an auditor, because everything that you will be saying will be going against you. So it's really important that you say the right thing from the beginning. Okay, so yeah, you can go on the show notes and you can then get the links for those 2 trainings. And if you need additional trainings, small trainings really that are really quick, don't hesitate to give me some suggestions at info at easymedicaldevice.com, info@easymedicaldevice.com. Okay, now let's go to the rest of the world, and we'll start with the USA. So we have the US FDA that issued guidance on the de novo request, mainly, which is guidance on how you are submitting the de novo request for classification for your product. So de novo in the US is mainly that you have no product code for your product, so you don't know what is the classification of your product. So then you are requesting a product code and then with the classification also. Be careful, it's costing more than a 510K, so you have to be really sure that this is the right pathway for you. I mean, when you have no choice, you have no choice. But this is the guidance that will be explaining to you anyway the how to do this request for de novo for the US market. Then we have a webinar. The US FDA is issuing a webinar on cybersecurity in medical devices. So it's interesting because they had also this guidance. So it will be explained to you this guidance on the cybersecurity for medical devices. And this webinar will be November 2nd, 2023. So register now and have it on your calendar now so that it's blocked. If you are like using some software or some elements that can be hacked, it can be interesting because it's giving you also some hints about what you should submit on your 510K, what kind of documentation or information you should have. So this is a great training for free that you can have from the FDA. So don't hesitate. Next one is another webinar. It's on a breakthrough devices program. So there was, as I told you, for the UK, this IDAP process pathway. Here we have the breakthrough procedure. It's exactly the same. It was updated. There were some changes. So you have a new webinar on November 14th, 2023. So don't hesitate also to join and to register, to enroll, have it on your calendar, because as I said, it's a free training for you to understand this breakthrough procedure. So as I said, this is mainly for products that have some innovations that are for life-threatening conditions, etc. So if your product is in this category, don't hesitate to learn from them exactly what you can do with this pathway. The US is also providing some educational content, and here you have the digital health frequently asked questions. So mainly if you are a company that has a software and you don't really know if your software in the US is considered as a medical device, if it's an SAMD, you have there a lot of basic questions that can help you to understand and which will be serving you as a guide on is your software a medical device or not, and what you should do also, what are the different pathways that you have to go through for SAMD. So don't hesitate to go to this page, frequently asked questions for digital health, which will help you for that also. Next, the US FDA is discussing the biological evaluation of ISO 10993-1. So I reviewed this document and it's explaining more or less what is the ISO 10993-1. What is interesting is that they are putting their US FDA touch, if I can say. So yeah, there is, you know, this table of the different where it defines what are the different tests that you have to do if your device is with a long-term contact or short-term contact or goes inside the body or outside, etc. So it tells you if you have to do that or that or that. Apparently, they decided to include some additional requirements for the US, and they say if your device is like that, normally it should be like those 5 tests that should be done, but we want you to do also this one and this one and this one. So mainly this is the change. So you can see that on the tables nearly at the bottom of the guidance, where you see this table and you see when they put a round, mainly it's because the FDA wants suggests that you are also doing this kind of test. So it's interesting because it's an ISO standard, so normally everybody should be using that and should be using as is. But yeah, the US is providing also its own touch on this. But just check and let me know if you have any comments on that also. Okay, last for the US, we have the 510K predicate devices, and we know that sometimes it's a bit difficult to choose the predicate device for a 510K, and the US has created this guidance or updated guidance for how to select your predicate device for your 510K. So as I said, this is a delicate exercise for you. But here it gives you exactly the methods that you have to choose, how you have to do this exercise, where you have to go, what you have to exactly look at. Gives you also a lot of examples for different methods and this and that, for the type of products that you have also well established or not, etc. So if you are planning to look for your predicate device for your 510K, this is really the right documents to go for and to look at, because this will really guide you and provide you the right methodology on how to do that. Then the FDA has nearly nothing to say because you really use their guidance to search for your predicate device. So good luck and look at it. Okay, today we will go now to Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, we have a guidance that was issued about significant changes. Mainly what is important here is that you normally within your quality management system, you have your change control process where you define when to do a change, what to do, etc. Inside this change control process, you have normally to ask question, is it a significant change or not? This guidance is providing you some hints about that, but at the bottom there is a template where you see exactly normally what you should have within your change control process. So if you are still struggling to find out the right question or the right format or whatever, this may be the right document to look at. For example, this is mainly for people that have no electronic quality management system. If you have an electronic quality management system, it should have normally a change control process and already define maybe the workflow for it. But if you don't have, then this kind of document can help you first as a basis to understand what should be inside a change control process. In Malaysia, we have the authorities that are providing a training, if I can say, for manufacturers, distributors, authorized representative importers on what's the preparation of the document that they have to submit to the authorities. It can be maybe difficult to understand exactly what needs to be submitted, what needs to be provided, etc. So here they are making a 3 days training, October 23rd, October 24th, and October 30th, where they are explaining really what they are expecting from the manufacturers authorities for that. So don't hesitate also to go to the show notes to find out about this training, to check the content, check everything, and if you are interested, you can also be part of it if you want maybe to go directly there. I don't think it's a webinar, I think it's more face-to-face, so I suppose it will be in Malaysia directly. Turkey has clarified the situation, if I can say, because we knew since a long time that there is a mutual recognition agreement between Turkey and Europe. But now there is also some changes that are happening in Turkey where they are changing their law to include the requirements from the EU to the Turkish law, and which clarifies also the fact that if you are trying to sell your products in Turkey, there is no need for you, and you are located in Europe, even if you are located outside of Europe, and you don't need a specific authorized representative in Turkey. You can have your authorized representative in all the European Union, and same for companies that are in Turkey to sell in Europe. There is a mutual recognition for that. Mutual recognition also of notified bodies. So a notified body that is located in Germany can certify a product that will go to Turkey, and a notified body located in Turkey can certify a product that will go to Europe. So there is really a mutual recognition agreement between them. So it's clarified mainly. So just go and check that. What I liked is the fact that usually when I'm going to the Turkish website, everything is in Turkish, and I'm a bit like I cannot really understand what is written here, but it's written in English. So you can just check and find out exactly the communication, and it's written in English. So which is great, because then we can understand exactly what they are planning to do. Japan, so we don't talk too much about Japan, but Japan updated their essential principles. Essential principles is the same as the GSPR for Europe, or essential requirements, etc. So mainly they updated that to include in 2023 some requirements for cyber security. So you can see the difference between the previous and the new one. So there is also all the red lines, so you can see that. But mainly, and it's marked at the top of the document, that mainly in 2023 they have updated to include a lot of requirements. I mean, some requirements about cyber security. So they take also that into account for the essential principles. So it's good, because then it's written clearly that you have to protect your software against cyber security. So yeah, maybe good to check that, and update also your documentation. For example, if you are an MDSAP, I mean, you are certified under MDSAP, then if Japan is one of the countries where you are selling, it means also that you should take that into account and record that within your regulatory update document, and then update that and check if there is any impact to your product. Otherwise, maybe you will get a non-conformity from your notified body. So be careful of that. India has updated its list of registered medical devices testing laboratories, I mean updated or put in place for the MDR 2017 in India, not 2017 745 in Europe, but in India. So this is the list of all the laboratories that are accredited, if I can say, for the MDR 2017, and also the scope of those laboratories. So you can have the document. Yeah, it is a PDF file that is a scanned document that is not really in the good shape, but mainly, yeah, you can see everything. Yeah, I think you can search directly on the document, but you can check every laboratories that are listed there. So if you are registering one of your devices in India, maybe there will be the need to have one of those laboratories to certify the test of your products. Okay, now let's go to the podcast nostalgia. So which podcast we had this month? So we had only 3. We had the first one about Team PRC. As I told you, we have the Team PRC in November, but for reminding everybody, so we released the interviews that we have done last year with the different guests like Basil Akra, like Eric Volbrecht, Ronald Boumans, Elena Kiria. We had a lot of guests that we have interviewed, so don't hesitate to go to check that. We had the part 1, episode 249, and the part 2, episode 250, where we had the objective was mainly to explain why it's important to have this kind of conference for Team PRC, but also what are the risks that we have identified, what are the questions that people were asking, trainings also with Ronald Boumans. We talked about training of PRC, how to hire people with Elena Caria. So mainly this is really an important conference if you are a PRC, so don't hesitate to come. And the next episode was about UDAMED updates. So we had a great discussion with Richard Julian, which was explaining mainly about what changed within UDAMED, the timeline also that is updated now. Also the fact that as the timeline is going a bit further, there is a discussion about what to do with our legacy devices. Should we have them on UDAMED or not? Normally it's not mandatory, but we had also a discussion about if you have a vigilance reporting, you have to provide the UDAMED ID or UDAMED DI in the case you don't have a UDI DI or basic UDI DI. So to get that, you have to register your products in UDAMED. So there was a lot of discussion about that. So don't hesitate if you are still under you have still some questions about UDAMED to go and check mainly our discussion with Richard Julian. Okay, so Easy Medical Device is always trying to innovate. As we said before, we talked about our EQMS, Electronic Quality Management System, Smart Eye. So if you want to have a demo for Smart Eye, don't hesitate to contact me and we can organize that. Even if you have already an EQMS within your company, don't hesitate. Come and just look at the demo and you'll see if there is really a difference, if there is really something that maybe we should improve ourselves also from our side. So don't hesitate to look at that. We have a lot of list of improvement because we are looking also of artificial intelligence. We are looking at a lot of things. So it's something that I hope will be really beneficial for you. And our own objective is mainly to help you reach the market compliantly and to reduce your burden to the quality management system maintenance. So don't hesitate to come and to check that. Again, we are also a consulting firm, so we are helping you to stay compliant by providing you the right documentation. But we have also included a new service which is called the back office service. In the case, for example, you want us to work on your regulatory intelligence, we can have a contract for the full year, and every month you will receive specifically for your company the regulatory intelligence. If you want us also to work on your post-marketing surveillance, every year you will receive your post-marketing surveillance. If you need an internal audit also, a lot of things that can be done. And we have our team that can help you mainly to maintain your quality management system. So don't hesitate also to contact me for having maybe a review about our back office service and what we can provide to you, how we can help you to maintain your quality at a reduced price, because mainly the objective is also that we know that we are not all a big corporate company, so you have some startups that don't have the full capacity with a lot of resources. So let's help you to reach your objective without, looking at a specific person within your company, but having a service provider that is providing that to you. So don't hesitate to contact me at info@easymedicaldevice.com. Okay, it was really a pleasure to have you on this regulatory update. So don't hesitate to look at the show notes. All the links of anything that we talked about is there. And if you have any question, don't hesitate also to send me an email. I will be really happy to answer to you. So thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.